Okay, we can bring your hands even further back. Right? Hold that. Remember what we are doing in seated position, hands on the block. Interlock your fingers behind you. And begin to stretch this arm more and more behind you. So the arm is straight. If your hand touches the floor like mine is doing now, I have to lift that arm higher up. And it's a struggle to keep the palms together, not open the heel of the palm, and stretch the arm further and further back. It's a struggle physically. Am I losing my sense of humor? No, I'm enjoying the struggle. May not be enjoying physically with regard to my musculature, but I like that sense of adventure. Otherwise, I would not do it. And if your hand doesn't touch the floor, if you're seated higher up, put a block behind you, put the hands on that block. When you do that, when I do that, I have to be careful that I'm not poking my ribs forward because I don't want to do back bend in my lower lumbar. I just want to open my chest better. And right now I'm using that one block behind me. After a while, if I find that one block is not enough, I'll pick 2 blocks. Notice how your chest is. When you take the hands behind you like that, the upper arm rotates in. You should let it rotate in. The chest rotates in the opposite direction. Upper arm rotates from front to back in the armpit. Chest should go from back to the front. This is the essential part to open that clavicle area of the chest. Rotate the arms internally, but rotate the chest the opposite direction. Slowly, if you like to go further, bend the knees. Keep this relationship between the arm and the chest. Begin to move the tailbone, the pelvis away from scoot. Scoot is a very good Sanskrit word in English language. Scoot. Scoot as far forward as you can. Then stretch the legs forward. What you would now have done is, although the rotation of the arm is correct, chest is correct, the lumbar has collapsed. Continuing this action of the arm, lift the lumbar forward, open the chest up, lift, 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 lift. Imagine 2 elephants, one on each shoulder. Let that elephant help you to drop the head of the humerus circularly down while you lift the chest. And if you like, you can go further, bend the knees again, and again scoot forward a little. Only when you begin to go deeper into the movement, don't hold your breath. Every movement you do, preferably do with an exhalation. To come out of the position, don't do anything funny. Please do not turn your head sideways in this. Bend the knees, scoot back towards the chair, or drag the chair forward and release the arms.
If I feel pressure here on my...
Your right elbow tends to hyperextend. That will cause that pressure. If that happens, take a little blanket roll and put it under your arm.
Question, Ramanand?
Yes.
It's can I have a right shoulder, reverse shoulder, and so I can't get that same rotation? I'm guessing that the thing to do is match what the right shoulder can do with the left. Is that correct?
Whichever shoulder is giving you more challenge, correct action on that shoulder first. The easier shoulder, take it to the same degree, not more. And you will find definitely if you sit a little longer, the arm will release, the shoulder will release. If there is somebody to help you, they can poke on your collarbone, just below the collarbone, into that support under the collarbone to release it further. When the shoulder has difficulty moving, first point out that this might take this out.
Yeah.
From here, this is the clavicle, the bone. Where its attachment is here, I would support this point. When she gets little better at it, I take the collarbone, try and go as it were under the collarbone, below the collarbone, and support that area. Put a pressure on that. You will find in most cases, it almost immediately improves your movement. The trouble is, it's very difficult to do it to yourself. I see. What you're saying is you're difficulty getting the arm on the chair.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would work on a block like I described before. If you have a lot of difficulty with it, watch me. Let me do this. Take this off. I would begin here. I would sit on the chair. Okay, with my hands by my sides. And learn to sit this way down more and more and more. Then take the hand a little further back into the same. Then put the hand behind like that. I put my thumbs outside generally. And I begin to, from here, I come off the chair and sit on a couple of blocks. And slowly, little by little, I go look down.
Ramanand, could we see what is the position of the hands?
Ideally, the position of the hand is my fingers are at the back of the chair. Can you see that?
Yes.
And I put my thumbs outside. You need not. You can put the thumbs on the top. I put my thumbs here so the two hands stay in their correct position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Ramanand Patrick, can you actually go into the pose and show what the hands look like when you're down? Yes. All right.
My outer elbow, as it were, is touching the chair more than the inner elbow. When you lift the arms up, although the instruction says lift the arms up, more than the arms, lift the chest up, the flank of the body up. And in lifting the flank of the body up, the front of the body should lift more. The back of the body also should lifts less. That same sense should be retained as much as you can in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Release your arms. Downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Which means in downward dog, you should give a lot of emphasis to moving the trapezius further back. With my arms rotated in, like I'm now doing, if I can retain the lift of the armpit chest, then when I allow my arms to rotate out, the chest is lifted even more. And there is an inner sense of lift of the chest that comes. An instruction you would often hear from me in Uttanasana, rotating the thighs in, stamp on the outer heels. You can do that by imagining you have 4 legs. So you are in Baddha Konasana position and in Uttanasana at the same time. The Baddha Konasana position is saying, push the top of the femur out. The right femur is pushed to the right, the left is pushed to the left. The 2 hip bones are taken circularly towards each other to keep the sacrum wide. But even as you do that in the standing position, keep a sense of tremendous length in the femur. Length in the femur here cannot mean that you push the femur towards the floor. Floor is very firm unless you make a hole in the floor. So length in the femur here means from your inner knee to the inner thigh bone, lift that area up towards the ceiling without creating any sense of trauma or stress to the inner knee. So it is a bone action, not an action of the sinews or the muscle. Combination of those 2 actions will move the sit bones away from each other and circularly untucking. On the sides of the tailbone, you should have that sense of space. Don't try to drag the tailbone towards the head. Release the tailbone towards the front of your body, towards the pubis. And come up.